wasn't this awkward. I can't even say my intro anymore because I changed my channel name. So now I'm not even sure like how to open a video anymore. This is awkward. So 2020 guys, we made it. Wow. It's been something. So for the 5 people who watch my videos, I've been gone forever, obviously, and I decided let's do a little recap of what happened since I've been gone. I feel like the last video that I uploaded on my channel was anime convention, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm not really sure, but yeah, since then a lot has happened, but also not a lot has happened. I really don't know where I stopped ever recording videos at what point in my life, but recap. As you see, I am living back at home now. My room is orange. Was it orange before? I don't remember, but my room is orange now. Yeah, I love it. It just looks so good. It makes me feel good. Like, everyone was criticizing me, like, why would you choose orange? But it looks good. So regardless of being back home, I was living at home for the last 2 terms of college. So commuting back and forth via the train every single day pretty much. So yeah, and then 2020 rolls around and then it was time for me to finish my last semester and graduate, which was the plan. And then sickness, pandemic, mayhem, no one knows what's going on. That has happened. So now I finished school and didn't get to graduate, and it just feels very weird because like I never got that formal like exiting of college, you know what I mean? Like I still feel like it's like the weekend and I still have to get up and go to class. Like it's so weird. Like yeah, we were doing assignments like at home while we were away on lockdown and stuff like that, but it just does not feel the same. Even doing the finals, like even as an art major, like when you comes down to doing finals aren't done until the very last second when you're in class about to turn in that project. So there was never that rush. It was just it was almost very leisure time. Like yeah, it was crammed, had to get everything in, had to get everything completed in time, but I don't know, it just wasn't the same if not doing it in a classroom setting, you know? It's weird. It's just very weird. I still feel like I have not finished college. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm gonna charge me for the next classes for next semester. I don't know, it's just so weird. And I remember when I was just like in my room chilling and I literally got the mail and I put the mail downstairs to leave for everyone else. And then someone was like, there's something in the mail for you. I'm like, there is? It's just giant tube. I'm like, what is this? It was my diploma. I didn't even think about getting my diploma in the mail. Like that's how detached I am from graduating college. It's so weird. I don't know. It's weird. And then on top of the awkwardness I feel of not like fully completing college is that I had to finish all my loan stuff, so all the loans I had to take out for college, blah blah blah. And then the thing had told me that it's gonna be an estimated 10 years to pay off my student loans. And I'm like,
they ask you how you are, you just have to say,
sir, please. Why? Like looking at this time frame, I'm like, and I don't even, it's like stress beyond stress. I probably shouldn't even be stressing about it, but still, Well, also being in school before lockdown happened, I had a job, so I was going to work, going to school, blah, 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 doing both, while I was also still working with the newspaper for the university at that time as well. So I kind of had 2 jobs and then school full time. So I was grinding, going back and forth, commuting, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, pandemic happened, and then my job, you know, put everyone on mandatory leave is what they said. So I couldn't go back to work, and everything was locked down. And like the job I had, like I did photography for tourists pretty much. So like I was in the area where a lot of people be at. So I was kind of glad that the job had closed temporarily. But what I did not know was that temporary would turn permanent. So I was never able to go back to my job. And then, so, you know, now that I'm unemployed, I'm having the hardest time in my freaking life as now a graduate with nothing better to do in my life to find a full-time job. And I just don't want a full-time job doing anything. Like, I don't want to be making food full-time. at a fast food joint or stocking shelves at a supermarket full time. I know people do it, but it's like when you go through all this in college, the whole point was to get a full-time job in your desired field. So it's like, wow. And then now that that college has, like, you know, you were allowed on campus for a while, there is no connection, no career guidance to get. So now I'm really just like floating in this headspace. Don't know what's going on, don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm not alone, so there's that. It truly is like the worst time to graduate and go into the real world, because there really was no help, no guidance, no nothing. You just kind of really are just kind of cast it out there now, and now you cast it out there when there's nothing, pretty much, and it's very weird. So now that I don't have a job, I don't have income, and so I'm just like at stagnant. Like I have money saved from when I was working and all that stuff, and like I'm stuck. Like I have money, but I'm broke. Like I don't know. And like I did file for unemployment, and that's gone. And it's like I need a job, and it's like I can't really find one, which leads me to my next point. A lot of jobs I do find are relatively far from where I live, and the best way to get there is via car, which I don't have. And in order for me to get a car, I need money. And the money I'm not getting because I don't have a job. So I'm stuck in this endless loop of not having money and not being able to obtain a job and not being able to get a car, to go to work, to get a job, to go get money. It's weird. I don't like this. 2020, why? The only up thing that has happened in like the last 2 semesters of like college so far and leading up to this point pretty much are like I was able to be in a couple of art shows. I think about 3 or 4, if I remember correctly. So that was really my highlight of my time, of my last time in college and stuff like that. It's good. It's so good to be in an art show. Even though the last art show I submitted a sculpture, it's a pretty large sculpture, about as tall as me pretty much, and there was 3 separate pieces, and I submitted it to the show, and then it was accepted, obviously. But it sucks because since the pandemic happened, the show had to be digital. Now, mine's just a 3D sculpture, so you're literally looking at the picture of my sculpture, so you're not going to get the scale, you're not going to get the depth of anything. It's just a photo, so it really did make me upset, but I'm just glad I got into the show. Anyway, one of my paintings I did, that one right there, if you can see that, also has been submitted into an editorial magazine, which is pretty lit, if I do say so myself. I really didn't think I was gonna make it in, but I did. I'm like, yeah, and I really want the physical magazine, but since COVID, I don't know if they're gonna print a physical magazine, but you can look at it online. But I want the physical. I need it in my hands, you know? Like many people during the pandemic time, one way they spent their time was playing Animal Crossing, and that was me. And I finally had made it to a 5-star island, I think maybe 2 months ago. I think it started in April, if I remember correctly. And I finally made it to a 5-star island, and I'm like, I've been grinding on this game. And it's funny, because I got a Switch Lite, and the only game on there is Animal Crossing. Like I said, I don't have any income. So that was the only game I could really afford. I can't afford any other games. And Nintendo really does not seem to knock the price down on any type of the games, no matter how old it is. So like literally Animal Crossing is the only game on my Switch, so it's the only thing I have to play. Like, I'm sorry, everyone's like, oh, let's play Smash. I don't have it. I'm sorry, I don't have it. But Animal Crossing, it really has been a good de-stressor, like many people say, and I really enjoy playing it. You know, I'm kind of at the point where I have a lot of money, and I pretty much decorated my island to full capacity at this point. So it's like I'm kind of don't know what to do, but the new diving update was like a saving grace, because finally some more gameplay content, finally. But yeah, but I've just really been occupying my time playing Animal Crossing and playing The Sims 4. I love playing The Sims, and I love building in The Sims. I don't know why. I'm not into architecture like that, but I love building in The Sims. It's just so good. And you spend like hours, just hours building one house or whatever it is that you're building. So I just love it. And I'm like, yo, I can make videos on that. Becoming a gaming channel now, guys. Don't stop. With all that said, I'm just happy to be making another video again, because I'm like, there's nothing but time to do it now. And now that I'm done with college, I feel like I have more time to put towards YouTube now. And obviously, like I say every time, I love recording videos and editing videos mostly, and I was like, I want to do it again. I need to. So yeah, I'm just really happy to be here back on my channel. And you know, I'm not Super Arc 101 anymore. It's just awkwardness, because that's what it is. That's what the world is. That's what I feel right now, you know. So it's just, everything's really awkward. And I have more content coming soon, stuff already planned, some clips already filmed. So you know, this is not a one-off video on my channel. Like, this is a revive. Like, we're going to make it. And yeah, so life is kind of crazy right now, but it's gonna be what you make it, pretty much. So yeah, besides just playing video games, occupying my time really trying to just hone my art and work on my actual stuff. Like, it's like there's a perfect opportunity to really work on my stuff and really get my stuff out there, like my paintings, my illustration, my digital stuff, and even the comic that I want to release to the world so bad. And it's like the perfect opportunity, but also very unfortunate time, but also perfect opportunity to really hone my stuff. So I'm like, there's a lot of content that I can create here, and a lot of content I can share with you guys on YouTube as well. So it's like, it's a win-win in my eyes. So yeah, I have a lot more content coming, so stick around. And you know, if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to, you know, comment below. How's 2020 going for you? How's it going? I'm curious, because I know people have a lot of wild stories to share. And you know, subscribe if you know you like what you see, you know what I mean? Like, this is so weird to say because I haven't said this in such a long time. I don't know how to close this video, like how to end it. How did I end it before? I don't remember. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna just go. I just walk away. Out the door I go. Peace.